Uh, guys, I know there's a better way to start, but is there a better way to start? I, oh, buckle up, babies, because we've started. We are started. Our new life has begun. Our new way of, I am so overwhelmed with emotion right now. Um, and I'm not even, I'm off menstruating. Here we go. This is all just pure um energy and feeling, but it's an emotion of like excitement, um a I almost wore a shirt. You probably have seen me wear it before, and it says begin again, and I was very tempted to wear that shirt, um uh, because that's what this feels like again, where I was like, and I know we're so all tired of this message of like, just start before you're ready, just starting's hard, like, just fucking forget it. But that's where I was like, no, you've already started. This isn't about like, let's get started. This is like starting to pay attention to, do you see what you said there? Starting to pay attention to, um, I think this is going to be the biggest thing. I know I'm kind of jumping around, but I trust that you can follow me. The biggest thing of where you are now with starting on this new, whatever word you like, journey, timeline, routine, way of doing things, boundary setting, glow up era, dealer's choice, baby. Either way, it's happening and it's here. And it's yours to fuck up. Okay. It's yours to fuck up. It's yours to claim. It is yours to, I just keep seeing like like Steph Curry and like LeBron memes in my head of just like a slam dunk where like their legs go wide and they're just holding onto the rim, just that pure, like, just almost animalistic, like, ah. And as we're recording this, if you're an Astro girly, we're going into Lionsgate, and Lionsgate portal is known in the Astro world as 8-8. I see things more and feel them more in like almost like energetic like phases. But I think all of these are just tools and framings of way for us to see the world, right? So take whatever works for you. I think the frequency, the energy, and like what we're all saying is the same. But I think that's interesting of there's this real, we're in Leo season. There's this real call to like fucking just like shoulders back and like in it. And the conversely, the thing that you're probably also picking up on is there is like, as aggressive of this, just like, yeah, motherfucker, like I'm in the seat, bitch is back. Like, you're probably listening to new music. Maybe you're styling your hair different. Like you're going to change your email signature, like you're in it. There's, again, where I said I wanted to wear that shirt that says begin again, because there's this feeling of, like simplicity, wisdom, truth, trust, in a way that hasn't been there before. Like if you ever, this just popped into my head. If you ever were on like a recess or something and there was that game tetherball, or maybe you've just seen it Napoleon Dynamite, if you're old enough, so tetherball, if you're not familiar, there's a pole and there's literally a ball that's just tethered to the pole, and you hit it and it swings around, and the idea is whichever side you're on swings it around the pole faster, you win. But what I keep thinking is like, that's this sense of trust, like where we're going, like you're going to be taking swings, like you're going to have to hit that ball. But there's a sense of that trust, that anchoredness, that alignedness is like, it's tethered. So no matter, like, it's not like before where we like take a swing, but we don't really know where we're swinging. So we're just kind of like, hope for the best. And that's what's gotten us here, like through taking those swings, through learning, it's gotten us to this point. But it's this feeling now of like again, we have already started. Like you're in it now. We're not second guessing. I don't even get that feeling from you. Like you're like, oh no, I'm here now. I'm where I'm supposed to be. But this phase, at least for right now, is just anchoring into that. we don't really need a ton of strategy. I think you know where you're going and like where you want to be going, but I don't get the sense it's like you don't have to have these like hard and fast things. Like we're going to flow through and we're going to see where we go and where we end up. And sorry, there's like so much. I'm like, hold on. Let me catch it. Yeah, that there's just so much that we're moving through that almost too much strategy is going to hinder that momentum. So that's where I'm like, you've already started. Like, just let the wind take you at this point. Like, you have worked on enough of like your systems and the way that you want to do things and how you want to show up. Like, we have been practicing that work, I would say, for the better half of a year. And then certainly through this Mercury retrograde and through, there's been all sorts of things in the stars. And of course, on an earthly plane, we are really being asked to stretch and expand so that we can show up for ourselves, our communities, and like really make sure that we are contributing to a world that holds our values, that is a reflection of ourselves, and like really coming into our integrity. And actually, I think that's one of the biggest things that comes in this month is that true call for like integrity. And if you remember from the Reinvention series, which if you haven't listened to it, can I just ask you, can I implore you to go back and listen to it? In that series is one of those, the episodes I made about like, what do you like? How do you want to dress? How do you want to feel? How do you want your home to feel? Like, take some time because, with social media and from your conditioning and everything that you came up with, a lot of what you like, what you listen to, those are left over from relationships you were in, trying to fit into certain groups. And maybe some of those things you genuinely like, but if we sat down long enough and I pressed, I'm going to guess that most of those things, okay? Like, do you really like Death Cab for Cutie, or did that guy named Evan on Spring Break like Death Cab for Cutie? Like, we really want to come into what do you like? And that plays a major role in kind of our integrity. Like, again, there's almost this momentum that's going to take you. And when we are nitpicking, and, I like to share about May, because she loves to share, but also because I want you to know that I'm not just talking into a vacuum and I'm also doing this work. So for instance, this morning we were setting up this background and I was tinkering and da-da-da, and my husband's in here and I probably was not as kind to him as I could be. And I'm like, oh, you tinker all the time. Like, you need to help me look, make this look perfect. And he's like, just go throw this out there. Maybe it looks good. And maybe it's just you that has this idea that it's going to look a certain way. And I was like, cool, copy. I hear it. I hate it. Boy, do I hate it. But copy, I've heard and understood, that was another way of like, I'm getting in my own way. Yes, we always want things to elevate with us, but there is a difference. And these are these things when I'm talking about, like, there is a different way of operating now. You are on a different operating system, and we're still getting used to that. I know on a physical plane, you guys have heard me talk a lot about these, my panic attacks and my hormones and all these things physically that have been going on with me. But I think it was like, first everything had to shift for me spiritually, then it had to shift in my mindset. And now my body is like, oh, now we have to do the work. And I'm like, okay, mom just wants a vacation. Okay. When is that coming? And so there are still going to be these things in your physical, like I'm still tinkering with things in my home and what I like to wear and how I like to wear my hair and makeup and all those things. So there's still going to be some of those that we are tinkering and moving through. But for the most part, like your actual operating system, the things that you say yes to, the things that you say no to, how you show up to things have radically shifted. So we don't need to, like, that was one of those things of like the tinkering. I'm like, oh, we don't do that anymore. Like, we trust that this is good enough. This is in our highest. Great. Let's keep it moving. Or if we find over the next couple of weeks, oh, here's something that works better or looks better, great, then we can do that. But like every single, again, I think this is the LeBron, like Steph Curry thing I keep seeing in my head. Like, if you're focused on every single shot, like you're going to have to take shot after shot after shot to have that one where you're up there on the rim, just like, yeah. And so I think this is a really exciting time. And I know that there's so much exterior in the world, some that are affecting us personally, some that aren't, some that like there are things being exposed to us on systematic levels, on internal levels and family systems at a shockingly fast rate. And I know that all of us are going, I'm sorry, can we slow down? But we can't. And I think that's also the thing that I keep getting. And I want to be very clear with that though. That's not saying go fast. But that's saying if the world is going to accelerate this quickly, it's trusting in spirit, it's trusting in your higher power, it's trusting in Jesus, it's trusting in God, it's trusting in we can also go that fast. We can hold pace. We're going to get there too. And there's something really beautiful about that. And my whole body's lit up. There's something really beautiful about that because I think, especially in trying times like this, it's easy for us to feel abandoned or like separated from a higher power. And it's almost this feeling of like, no, y'all got to go just as fast because dissension, lack of integrity, the need for, did I just say dissension? The need for that, for separation, all of these things are going to work fast. So it's also on us to not mire down in the details. Rachel, it doesn't matter if the light goes for tit for tat, da, 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 okay? Because there's people out there moving at the speed of light and you got to keep up. And I say that from a really beautiful and positive place, not from like, go, go, because I actually think locking into this new rhythm, and I think things are definitely accelerated right now, especially here in the States. It's summer. A lot of people, if you've got kids, they're going back to school. So there's just a lot of shifts that are happening where there's kind of this in between, like in between summer, not yet fall, but like so we're kind of in this coming out of all of these deep, big lessons that we're learning. And I think this is going to continue probably for the next month. I think we're going to start to experience or lock in a little bit more second, third week of September. So you've got a little bit of time to really settle into this and like feel it and let it be what it is. And I know, or I don't know for you, I'll share for me, but I think this is true for you. It's not exactly where you're wanting to go. Like there was even just a thought that came up for me in the podcast and it was like, oh, but we're wanting to share more about blank, blank, and blank. I'm like, yeah, I know. And we'll get there. But like, this is still where we are right now and what we're sharing. And that's just like on one level. So if you're like, oh, I'm wanting to feel this way and these things aren't materializing yet. Again, it's already started. It's already happening. And just when you could come back to human brain and go, yeah, like, of course everything isn't here yet. And that totally makes sense that you would want it to be that way. It's not, it's totally fine. Let's keep it moving. I think that's also this mindset shift and this thing that is going to like kind of carry us over the hump because I don't even think it's about being tested right now. I think we have all like gone over that initial hump. But there's still going to be some of those. And I think it's more about us trusting that like this new way of being is cemented in. Like it's not even about trusting a higher power or outside of ourselves. It's like really coming inward and trusting ourselves that like this frequency, how we're feeling, what we're doing, what we're moving through, what we're saying yes to is real. Because that's the thing, right? Like, when we talk about gaining confidence and working on ourselves and like a lot of these things that I've been sharing and moving through, then it's almost like now we believe them and we're operating differently. So the world is showing up differently to us. But this is also a new skill of just saying yes. Like when you get that thing, and there are going to be some things coming your way that you've been wanting, you've been working towards, yada, yada, yada. And these things are going to start to say yes. The outside world is going to start to say yes. And you will also say yes, you will accept them. But if you're not right away switched over, like there's still a little bit of that, I can feel it in my body right now, like high frequency where like you're owning it, you're believing it, it's real, but it's still a little bit like, I don't know, am I going to get caught? Is everybody going to find out like I'm not supposed to be here? And that's okay. Like there's this sense of turning that frequency into and feeling energy in your physical body to like excitement and fun. Like have some fun. There's still the training wheels are on and they're going to be on for a while of like getting us comfortable and getting us going, but it's here now. And I think it's just going to be a ride. I keep seeing surfers too. I keep seeing a lot of that. Like there's going to be a lot of like trying new things and getting kind of like knocked off and like, but it's like we also have to have fun with that. Like this sense of trying for things and maybe the things that you don't get, like they're not going to hit you in the same way. You know, I'm always like shoot or shoot, man. And there's been plenty of things recently that I've shot for and they're like, oh, no, it's not available. Or, oh, you can't get that thing. It's like, okay, great. At least now I know, you know, and whether it's a no, like we have to stop with this finite sense of that no means forever or that no is a reflection of us. Oh, well, they would say yes to somebody else. Maybe like think of all the things that you're sure of you don't know, but you somehow know that every time somebody says no to you, it's personal and that you're a piece of shit. Like, come on, let it go. All right. Like, let's be a little bit more realistic and also remembering that like, maybe it's no, not right now. Maybe it's not supposed to be for you. And also like, you just don't get everything you want. Like, let's just start there, you know? But there is a new sense of like being willing to ask for all of those things. Like we're not fearful anymore to not ask for those things. And so there's a lot of things that are going to start to show up over the next 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm going to kind of like, as best I can, tie it there. Cause I think just in this energy, there's so much that I could like say and do and share and give to you. But ultimately, like, and I know you can even hear it in my voice. And if you're watching this in like my physicality, like it's kind of taking all of me. And so I know that you know, and really, right? Like when you tune into this podcast, there's other podcasters who I tune in to hear them because I can hear myself, but I kind of, it's always a checks and balances, almost like spirit checks and balances, where if they're echoing the same thing, I'm like, okay, cool. All right. So I know that's really what you're here. You're here to check in. I mean, you're here for the laughs. Oh my God. Is she not funny? But you're here to hear that like check mark. And so any of your specifics, really, I'm just here to give you that, you know, energetic check mark that it's like, yes, this is real. Yes, this is happening. Yes, you are ready. I'm going to say this one again. Yes, it is coming. And really, and actually, so for next week's episode, I'm offering some grounding practices to really get us rooted to accept these things, because there's been other times in the past where we've had kind of this wave of abundance, opportunities, you know, whatever works best for you, but kind of this wave of like, yeah, I keep seeing like grab bags or like just like treasure that's arriving. And before, whether it's a self-trust or our routines have not allowed us to be in a position to accept it, I'm really getting the sense that now you're in the position to really accept all of it and really take all of it on. And so I really just want to offer us a couple of things that we can do to get grounded and really welcome all of those things in, because it's coming. It's coming. And as much as this is, you know, sure, I know I'm in the room of like manifestation and timelines and all of those things, but I really more so, what I feel like my voice really lends itself to is making the spiritual practical and the practical spiritual, and reminding you that these things are real and that they're not going anywhere and you don't have to earn them, that the gifts, oh, it makes me so emotional. Oh, I just see like all of you and like you're just your little like just like your little child selves, and you're just kind of in this phase of really remembering like your real gifts, and whether you're pursuing them on like to monetize them or make a business with them, or it, like none of that really is so much of matter. It's more just the remembering, and that you're really remembering how beautiful that is. And the beauty of that is so undeniable. That's why children are undeniable. Like when you see them, right? And you're like, oh my God, they're so cute. They could be scaling the wall and, like a Joanne Fabrics, and you'll look at the parent and be like, oh, they're so darling, right? And it is because they have that sense of just divine expression, creativity, love, passion. And that's really what's coming up to the surface for you. And so that's this sense of trust and wisdom and faith that is going to keep you grounded, because yes, it's spiritual connection. Yes, it's you've shifted some things in your finances, or you've moved things around, you've moved out, you've let go of people. These are things that are happening on a physical plane that have set you up to be 10 toes down, to accept these new realities and how your life is about to move and change. But ultimately, the more that you are living in the frequency and remembering that little person that's inside you that just wants to come along for the ride and is so excited for everything that you're doing, that is really where you can stay in this place of play and excitement and still honor your nerves or your fears or the things that haven't quite arrived yet. These systems that you're still moving through, that we can hold both to be true at once. And so I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for us. That is all I have for you today. I feel like I just closed my eyes and let it all come through for you. I typically don't listen to these back, but I may for this one, because I'm like, what just happened? Just kind of channeled all that through for us. I'm so excited for what resonates for you. General reminder, I'm a real person. And so I would love your feedback. If you're on Spotify, you can leave me comments. You can DM me. You can email me and really let me know what you're moving through and how this is supportive. If you find this podcast supportive, can you tell somebody? Please, I'm showing up for you week after week, baby. This is reciprocal, okay? Tell a friend, share it on social media. If you haven't left me a review on Apple or Spotify, it's the least you could do, and it's wild how impactful it is for me as I'm growing this podcast and having the opportunity to speak in more and more places. So be a part of the journey, baby. Let's light it up, okay? Take care of you and really get some rest. Listen to next week's episode. It's really going to help us ground all this heavy, high energy. It's going to, or it's not even heavy, this real light energy where we kind of start to feel like we're floating. These practices are going to be so helpful, especially for us that are super creative and neurodivergent and kind of spread out all over the place. It'll really help us just like funk, enjoy it and be present for it. Okay, that's all I got. After she just yells at you for 20 minutes. That's all I got. Tune out. Tune in. God, do I love you. Mean it.